With the release of Madam Web in theaters this weekend, it's the fourth film in the Spider Man Sony universe. It's 4 films in this Spider Man universe without Spider-Man. There's references to him. We got a kind of a picture cameo in one of the post-credit sequences here, but it's essentially a universe set around Spider-Man without ever showing Spider-Man because he is on loan to Disney for the MCU. I digress here. Sony is putting out these Spider-Man villain films, and while Spider-Man does have a really good backlog of villains that they could probably do this, the film quality hasn't been all that great, but we are going to attempt to compose a top 4 list because there's only 4 films. Eventually there will be a 5th film with Kraven the Hunter right around the corner, but I really wanted to take this time and discuss a top 4 list here, ranking them from worst to best. But my list isn't the right list, it's not the correct list, but make sure you guys put your list in the comments section down below, and hopefully we'll have a swinging good time. And let's discuss this Spider-Man universe with our number 4 pick. And number 4 just so happens to be the latest entry in this franchise, and that is Madam Web, starring Dakota Johnson here. Now, Dakota Johnson, I don't think necessarily is the problem with this movie, even though I feel like she is at times sleepwalking through this film. And I enjoyed this movie because I'm enjoying it at the film's expense. I'm laughing at the dialogue. It's stupid, it's cheesy, it's edited to hell. And there's some really cringy moments here. But at the same time, I feel like it's teetering on the realm of being so bad it's actually good. I feel like this is the perfect movie to probably put on with your friends and just kind of, make fun of it. The villain of Ezekiel here is also a huge problem that I didn't really touch on in my review, but I thought about this a lot more. Very wasted performance here, and I feel like they must have done some rewrites with this character because every single time he's speaking, it seems like it's dubbed over, like it's not what he was originally saying in the scenes. So that's kind of glaringly obvious and apparent that I didn't even bring that up. So kind of feel awkward for that. But this movie, it was advertised to have multiple Spider-Men or Spider ladies in it. And we got to see them in a dream sequence and a possible flash forward at the end of the movie. Disappointed for sure. I thought they were going to actually have a bigger part to play in this movie than they actually do. It's bonkers. My favorite parts, if I had to speak positively, it's going to be Dakota Johnson and Adam Scott's chemistry. I think there's some fun dialogue and banter of them being this ragtag paramedic team. And even though some of the dialogue is cringy and I still find myself at least laughing, and I had a lot better fun. And to be honest, I had some more fun than I actually was intending. I was not expecting to like this movie at all, and I wound up kind of enjoying some of the stupidity of it. Number 3, I gotta go with Morbius here. This was going to be my bottom spot, but I thought about it a little bit more. I think Jared Leto is a very compelling actor and kind of a perfect cast for this performance. He kind of looks like a vampire anyway. But no, Jared Leto is actually pretty good in this movie, and even though some of the dialogue, again, with these Sony movies, we are finding out that the dialogue isn't its strong suit, and maybe even delivering good quality films is another weakness of this franchise. This movie is not completely trash by any means, because there is something going for it. It is Pinot nominated for Most Surprising Film at our 2022 Almost Sideways Movie Awards. So that there's that, right? But in all seriousness, this movie, I've enjoyed this. I've seen this several times, and having that gothic imagery with the bats and everything is very interesting. They overplayed the trailer quite a bit, so they got kind of repetitive and dull. There is some really fun action set pieces here that Jared Leto was doing here, and while it's not crazy by any means, it's something that I've rewatched a couple times and watched while it was streaming. So while not completely as bad as Madam Web, it's not something I'm necessarily going to go to when I want to have a movie to put in. If I was going to put in a vampire superhero movie, I'm just going to Blade all day. So Blade all day is what you should go to. Number 2 is going to be a Venom film, but which one do I go with? That's the question here. And I'm going with that first Venom film, starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams as well. And Tom Hardy is awesome in this movie. I actually really dig the Venom films, and I think they're highly entertaining movies. A lot of people might put this first Venom up at number 1. However, I'm going to put this film here at 2. I definitely by far the best Venom stuff we got since Spider Man 3, and big takeaways from this movie is I love seeing like Tom Hardy eating the lobster out of the fish tank. His inner dialogue and inner voice within is awesome. It's an entertaining romp. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and Tom Hardy compelling enough to be in this character. I'm surprised they were able to get him in the movie, quite frankly. But yeah, it's interesting. They do kind of waste Riz Ahmed here. I wished he would have been a better villain and a bit better foe up against our Venom character here, but it's still a fun, interesting time. But the number one film for me is going to go with Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Carnage is a crazy over-the-top character. I think the only way that this movie would be better is if it was rated R and actually showed some really intense, crazy kills and action stuff here. Seeing Tom Hardy go up against Woody Harrelson, a redheaded Woody Harrelson, is pretty damn funny. Again, another crazy over-the-top movie that it doesn't take itself too seriously. Directed by Andy Serkis, and I think he does a really good job here. It's a fun, entertaining film. Again, I'm not watching this for any of like this crazy backstory on this Venom character. There is a likeness to these movies that cannot be, understated here. They're enjoyable freaking movies that you're watching these films just to be thoroughly entertained. You're not trying to get a cool story, but if I want to watch like an action superhero movie, I might throw on a Venom movie because they are entertaining enough. I love Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams. I'll watch her in anything. And I've seen the other supporting characters like Woody Harrelson, like maniacally like laughing and eating up every scenery, all the scenery here, and completely just like I'm just cheeseballing my way through this Venom movie and having a fun time. So Venom, Let There Be Carnage is my number one favorite film in this Marvel or this Spider-Man Sony universe that we are given for some reason without Spider-Man, more or less. So, well, that's my list ranked from worst to best. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys thought about this list, and let me know your list in the comments section down below. Again, my name is Adam of the Almost Sideways Movie Podcast. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the video. Till next time, I'll see you in the next one. Later.